Today's video is about how Japanese media often emphasize only the positive side of accepting foreign residents. Hello everyone, I'm Satoshi Hamada, a former member of Japan's House of Councils. I'm working to return to national politics, and as part of that effort, I'm practicing delivering messages in English to communicate with leaders around the world. It is now 11 p.m. And I'm in Tokyo. Today, I'd like to introduce Japanese newspaper article published by Sankei Shimbun. The article warns that Japan's media tend to highlight only the positive aspect of accepting foreigners while ignoring the problems. This topic has become increasingly relevant as crimes involving foreign residents have drawn public attention and even become election issues in Japan. The article was written by Mr. Eiji Hara, a former official of Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, and now head of a policy think tank. If you'd like to read the original Japanese article, please check the link in the description below. Now I'll read the English translation of the article. Mm. The title is Be Careful with Media That Only Emphasize the Positives of Accepting Foreigners. Discussions about accepting foreigners often split into two extremes, strong opposition or unconditional support. The mass media tend to fall into the latter, so we need to be careful. For example, some media say crimes by foreigners are not increasing, but many people feel this doesn't match what they see around them. And actually, their feeling is closer to the truth. If we look at the data carefully, the number of foreigners arrested for serious crimes such as murder and robbery has increased over the past decade. And when we look at the crimes rate per population, it is clearly higher among foreigners than among Japanese. Reports that distort data in order to deny anti-foreigner arguments are harmful because they prevent proper policy responses. For example, crime rates differ depending on visa type or nationality. People from countries where migrants often arrive with heavy debts tend to have higher crime rates. If Japan strictly checked the amount of debt at the time of entry, it could reduce problems. But such important issues are being hidden. Another example is the media claim that foreigners help Japan's finances because many are young and pay insurance premiums while using few medical services. But this view overlooks two major points. First, even young foreigners will grow old when they marry and have children. They add pressure on education budgets. Decades later, they will become elderly and receive pensions, medical care, and nursing benefits. If a foreigner earns several times the average Japanese income, the total in lifetime fiscal balance is positive. But if someone comes as a specified skilled worker and later gains permanent residency, the lifetime balance is negative, a loss of tens of millions of yen. I presented the detailed estimates of this in the October issue of Sailor magazine. Second, some people come to Japan at middle or older age and then stay permanently. There are already nursing homes in Japan specifically for foreigners, and advertisements promote using Japan's long-term care insurance system. Since these people did not pay premiums when they were young, their impact on public finances is strongly negative. If we organize the data correctly, the solution becomes clear. Foreigners who earn below Japan's average income should not be granted permanent residency. Those who come to Japan at middle or old age should be required to pay medical and nursing costs in advance. Some say Western countries have 10 to 20 foreigners, while Japan has only 3%. But this comparison mixes up foreign residents and foreign-born people. If we compare just the ratio of foreign residents, Japan is 3%, the US is 7%, Germany is 9%, and France is 7%. So the difference is smaller than people think, and predictions that Japan will exceed 10% by 2040 are unreliable. Japan must urgently shift to a more strategic immigration policy with clear limits. However, even in the Liberal Democratic Party's leadership election, such solutions were barely discussed. In Western countries too, for many years, the media and migration scholars tend to highlight only the positive sides of immigration. Together with industry, this led to excessive immigration policies. To avoid making the same mistake, Japanese media must report accurate data. Readers, too, must be careful not to accept information blindly. Uh, that's, uh, that's the main message of the article. Thank you for listening. Now I'd like to talk about something very important. NHK. NHK is Japan's public broadcast, but in reality, it has become a problematic organization that sometimes reflects the influence of China and other foreign powers. In this modern age, NHK still refuses to introduce a scrambling system. It keeps sending signals without permission and even visits people's home to collect fees. This is extremely inefficient and cannot be justified. During my time as member of the House of Councillors, dealing with NHK problems was my top priority. It was a central promise of my 2019 campaign. So, as always, let me close with my usual message. By increasing the number of people who refuse to pay the NHK reception fee, we will destroy NHK. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.